This is Lori with Rock&Co Crafts. I want to thank you for joining me. As you can tell by the title, in today's video, I actually do want to take the new Resin sanding and polishing machine for a small test drive. Now, I'm only going to be using a part of what came in the box, so if you haven't watched the unboxing, I will put a link to that video in the description box below so that you can see everything that came in the box, which is a lot. I just have a little bit here. I just want to do a small test drive because I've never used this, so I have found one of the many projects that needs a little bit of work, and what I want to do, this is the display that I made in the video using springtime flowers and resin. And again, I will link that video in the description box below. This is just one of the two that I made in that video. But if you can see as I tilt it, I know the ring light's kind of getting in the way, but that there's little ripples on top of this. Now, it's my understanding that one of the causes of that could be humidity. There may be other causes. I mean, let me know in the comments below if you know what caused that. I have heard that humidity can cause it, and it just so happens when I was pouring this, we were getting a lot of rain, so maybe that's what caused it. But I love this other than the ripples. So I actually want to work on getting the ripples out. And in order to do that, and I have thought about, do I want to use the big pad or the small pad? And I think just to practice, because that's what this is, I want to use the small pad. So I'm not going to use the big one. But the other items that I'm going to need is, first and foremost, I need a mask. I have eye protection on, a towel for drying. This is a small little plastic tablecloth to put across the surface, making the surface a lot easier to clean and hopefully not messing up the surface that I will be using. I have a little disposable apron, waterproof, and a silicone mat. And that's so that when I put the piece on it, it'll help keep it from slipping. Also very important is a spray bottle of water, because you have to continually spray your piece, not only to keep the dust down, but it improves the look of the piece. And because this is just a small little flaw all the same, but it is a small flaw. According to, I did watch the Let's Resin video, and it's called Resin Just Got Easier. Watch the 4-in-1 Polisher Work Magic. In that video, they demonstrated 3 different types of issues that you may have with your projects, and the rippling was one of them. So according to their instructions, because it is just a little ripple, I'm going to be working with 5 different sanding discs, starting with 600, then 1000, 1500, 2000, and then ending with 5000. And then once that's done, you can either polish the top or do a top coat. I think I'm actually going to just do a top coat on this one. But I do want to give this machine a test drive, and I am not going to do that in my studio. Now, this is currently charged. It has a USB that charges it. So I could, you just hold the button down and it powers it. And as you can see, there's a 2 flashing there. There's like 3 speeds on this. If I wanted to change it to 3, there's 3. Back to 1. It is recommended in the video to use a 2 for more control. And I'm going to turn it on so you can hear it. So it's not too loud. It is charged. However, I am going to go ahead and take the DC plug out into the garage, because that's where I'm going to be working on this is in the garage. So I'll take that out just in case I need it. So that is what I am planning to do today. I'm going to go ahead and get everything moved out to the garage and get set up. And I will meet you out there. See you shortly. All right, let's go ahead and get this started. If I sound a little muffled, it's because I have a mask on. If you hear the crinkling, that's this little cheap waterproof apron. Let me go ahead and get my gloves on. The first thing I want to do is use the 600. And as I'm putting them on, I want to make sure they're centered because I don't want to scratch my piece with the Velcro stuff. All right, let's spray it with some water. Let me move this out of the way so I don't accidentally spray it. And we're going to start with the 600 and work our way up to the 5,000. So let me go ahead and power it on. And we'll see how this goes. Maybe a little more water. I hope that's not too loud. I'm going to hold close to the base for more control. Oh, my thing is slipping. So y'all, it's already starting to sand. And I'm going to try to sand this as evenly as possible. Turn this around. All right, I'm going to turn this off for a second. Oops. Wrong button, y'all. Just spray it and take a quick look and see what sort of results we have so far. Even though it does say it may take approximately 5 minutes because there really wasn't a whole bunch of ripples in this. And I don't know how well you can see that. That's what we have so far. I think I'm going to use this grit for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to switch grits. It seems really easy to use. A little awkward for me at first. Set that down, give it a spray. Wipe off the surface and see what I think. Oh yeah, I don't see any of those little ripples anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this disc, kind of spray it off to clean it up a little bit for reuse, and put the 1,000 disc on. And I am going to continue this until I get to the 5,000. So what I will do is I will go ahead and do this and then meet you back here as I'm finishing the 5,000. So I'll see you shortly. All right, I am down to the last grit, and that is the 5,000. Let me give it a good spray. And just continue to go around for a little bit. And if this is too noisy, I will mute this part of the video. But as you can see, not a whole bunch of dust or anything's coming up because the 5,000 grit is more like almost a polishing grit. Let me give it a wipe. And it will still be cloudy simply because I need to do a top coat, but if I spray water on it, you can see that it's really shining through pretty. So I'm going to finish with this, and then I'm going to wash this real well, and we'll work on the top coating. I have the piece taped off and ready for a top coat. And I mean, overall, other than it was a little awkward at first, it's going to take some practice. I really love this. You talk about cutting down not just on time, but when you're hand sanding and so forth, it is really hard on an old set of hands. So I really do like this, but let's go ahead and see about getting this top coated. One thing I did notice is on the sanding, after I got the tape on, I did miss a couple of edges because I was so concentrated on the ripples. I'm hoping that doesn't impact the piece very much, if at all. Now the little popsicle sticks is because the foam that I have it on is not quite level, and I need to make sure my piece is level. I'm just going to pour a little bit on here and let it start spreading. And if it goes over the edges a little bit, that's fine. That's what that tape is all about. Let me see if I can help spread. But do you see how pretty that looks? Let's see if we can help it spread just a little bit. I may want to go ahead and add just a little bit more. I don't want to overdo it. Yeah, I think I'm going to add just a little bit more, because if it does go over the edges, ideally it's just going to drip onto the mat beneath it. Let's see if I can't get this spread to the edge. Prefer not to go over because I don't want to mess, but I want to make sure it's all the way to the edge too. See, I do have a little drip going on there, which is fine. That's why I tape it the way I do, so that it'll go all the way down to the bottom and just drip on the mat. And hopefully the tape won't be too hard to remove. Sometimes that can be a bit difficult. It does look like it's all the way around the edges. Let me move that out of the way and see if I can't get a good look here. I see a fuzz. And I tried really hard to make sure this was clean, because I have sanded a piece before and did not get all the sand and grit off, and you definitely can tell if you don't. But that looks pretty good to me. I'm going to wait 24 hours, remove the tape, and then we'll see what it looks like. I mean, just looking at it right now, it looks like a brand new piece. I am so excited about this 4-in-1. There's so many uses for it. You can use it on more than just resin, by the way. But just the amount of time it cut down and the struggle. No sore hands this time. All right, well, what I'm going to do is let it sit for 24 hours, and then we will be back to see the final results. See you shortly. It's time to remove the tape, and just looking at it in the tape, oh, it looks so pretty. It's brand new. Let me move this stuff out of the way and see if I can't carefully remove this tape. I'm hoping not to have any little, where did it spill at over here? It went over here. I'm hoping not to have any Humpty Doos over there or any leakage. I try real hard to put my tape on very tight. And I do have my X-Acto knife nearby for when my tape sticks, because I do have a little piece of tape there I need to remove. Oh, and there. Yeah, my tape is tearing. See if I can get see if I can get underneath there and get that. Because I try to really push it down hard simply because I have had a piece like leak through because I didn't tape it down tight enough. I do have a couple little pieces I need to use the X-Acto knife on, like right here. Let me see if I can carefully get that under there without scratching my piece. I really don't want to scratch my piece. Let me set it down this way. Oops, I didn't get it, y'all. There it comes. I just don't want to scratch my piece, so I'm trying to be very gentle with it. Have it started. I just need to get it onto that knife and pulled off. And then I have this over here. Again, I just want to get it started without scratching my piece. That is snug as a bug in a rug on there. It does look like a little bit dripped over here, so it's on the tape, which is a good thing. It just may mean that the tape is going to be a little harder to remove. Let me see if I can get that just to pull off for me. There it goes. All right, there's that piece, and I have that little bit down there. There it comes. All right. Look at that, y'all. Let me give you a reminder. This looks brand new. It looks so good. Let me give you a reminder of what it looked like before. What did you think of the difference between the before and the after? Let me know in the comments below. I am super thrilled and excited. Even though it was just a minor flaw in the past, hand sanding, that would have taken me several hours and a lot of physical labor. And what I was able to do by using the 4-in-1 was I actually got all of the sanding and everything done, not including the taping and the top coating, of course, in like 30 minutes. This is certainly a game changer, and I personally would highly recommend it. I am absolutely in love with it, and now maybe I can get to some of these pieces I've been procrastinating on. Well, let me know what you think of the results in the comments below. I do want to thank you for watching and ask you to consider hitting the like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe buttons. And again, this is a great tool. I definitely would highly recommend it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.